From the moment Andor premiered, it was clear this wasn't going to be another typical Star Wars prequel. Stripping away the usual mysticism and spectacle in favor of grounded political drama and emotional depth, Tony Gilroy's masterful series offered a rare view into the human toll of rebellion. At the center of that human story was Cassian Andor, reluctant revolutionary shaped not just by war, but by personal loss. And one of the most haunting threads in his story was the mysterious fate of his sister. Introduced in the very first episode, the search for Cassian's sister seemed poised to become a major through-line. And yet, as Andor evolved, that thread all but disappeared, only to reemerge quietly in the show's final moments. It's a bold narrative choice that, while unexpected in a franchise known for tying up its stories in neat bows, became one of Andor's most poignant creative decisions. A search born in silence. Cassian's first appearance in Andor finds him navigating the neon-lit streets of Morlana 1, quietly asking questions about a girl who might be his long-lost sister. It's a subtle but emotional beginning, hinting at a past full of abandonment and unanswered questions. Through flashbacks, we learn that Cassian, originally called Casa, was separated from his sister Carrie when he was taken from Kenari by Marva and Clem. That separation planted a wound so deep that it would quietly shape the man he would become. But after those early episodes, the sister storyline slips into the background. No grand mission, no reunion. Instead, we follow Cassian's evolution into a rebel, his world expanding as he becomes entangled in a growing movement and its cost in lives, ideals, and identity. Real life has no neat endings. For many fans, the apparent abandonment of the sister subplot felt like a setup with no payoff. But Andor isn't a typical Star Wars story, and that's precisely the point. In the finale, we see Cassian recall his sister in a brief, silent flashback, not as part of a plot twist, but as a dream, a memory, a pain that hasn't dulled, even as he's matured into something more than just a survivor. He mentions to Bail Organa that he struggles to sleep, a line that speaks volumes when seen in context. His past still haunts him, even as he fights to build a better future for others. This choice to leave Cassian's sister unresolved is one of Andor's most powerful and subversive moves. In a galaxy where lost siblings often find each other, where destinies are preordained, Andor suggests something more truthful, that sometimes the past remains fractured. And sometimes, that fracture defines us more than closure ever could. Tony Gilroy's vision of absence. Series creator Tony Gilroy confirmed that he deliberately chose not to tie the storyline up in a conventional way. He described the sister as an important absence in Cassian's life, a void that never goes away but informs every choice he makes. The more Gilroy explored Cassian, the more he found meaning in what was left behind, not what was found. It's a theme Andor returns to again and again. Cassian goes back for Bix, for Marva, for those he can still help, not because he expects to change the past, but because he refuses to leave people behind the way he was left. His life becomes a series of redemptive acts driven by an early wound that never quite healed. A quiet tragedy with purpose. Cassian's unresolved search becomes not a plot hole, but a statement. Where Star Wars has long been about destinies fulfilled and hope restored, Andor lives in the messiness of revolution. It tells us that even the heroes we admire are shaped by heartbreak, by things they couldn't fix or finish. And in the end, Cassian's journey wasn't about finding his sister. It was about becoming the kind of man who wouldn't let others suffer the same loss, someone who could give his life so that others might live freely. In that sense, his sister never left him. She became the ghost that guided him, the silence behind every step toward rebellion, and the sorrow that made his hope real.